So this is for all those parents who have juniors, seniors in high school, or even college students. Having lived in a college town for 30 years off and on, I have done plenty of these loans that people aren't aware of. And the key to it is you are creating generational wealth. Real estate is one of the best ways to do it. So I'm going to use this example. Obviously, if you have questions or want me to run scenarios, you can just reach out. So you have a college student or someone has been accepted to college. Maybe it's your alma mater, maybe it's a football school, but it doesn't have to be. Let's just look and see what that would look like. Home for sale, $350,000, 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. What I think the part that some people don't know is you can do almost like co-signing a car loan. You could be, as a parent, a non-occupant co-borrower. Obviously, the student doesn't have an income; they're going to school, so they're essentially riding your coattails as they have been for 17, 18, or 19 years. You don't have to put 20% down. You can do 5%. Then here's the loan amount would be 332.5, interest rate 7.625. There's mortgage insurance because you're only putting 5% down. Again, 5% down and the mortgage insurance. This isn't your primary residence. So I'm going to show you how to offset that. Yearly taxes assumed in this area. And I'm going to use State College, Pennsylvania, just because I'm most familiar with that college town. And then there's a homeowner's policy of $80,000 a month. So this is what it would look like. And I just did a 5-year snapshot for this example. And you'll see I highlighted what the monthly expense would be. 2009-23 would be the mortgage payment. And so over 60 months, that's 176,270. And then you compare that to rent and what you're putting out in rent. And now there is a deficit, as you'll see, almost $20,000 deficit if you're just renting it out for your son. There's no renters or anything like that. But look at the appreciation gain, what you're paying down in your amortization. Then I also say, well, all right, if you're only going to hold it 5 years, a short-term strategy, 5 years, that should be plenty of time for that student to get out of college. So this is the net gain at the 5 years, $50,720. And the mathematics are, if you see at the bottom, all the fees that are incurred with the sale of the house, plus with the initial cost, the closing costs, 6%. The cost to sell is 6% to the realtors who sell it. And on the right side, you have the gains, right? So for a $50,000, walk away with $50,000 after owning a home for 5 years that your kid lives in. But you see, I highlighted that $20,000 cash flow difference, that negative. How do we make that a positive? Well, how about we get him to get 2 roommates? It's a 3-bedroom, remember. Get 2 roommates, paying $600 of rent, and use it as an investment vehicle. Now, investment vehicle has 4 tenets. It has to have security of principal, meaning you cannot lose what you put in. Has to be liquid, meaning you have to be able to get to it. There has to be in a short amount of time. The most liquid is money sitting underneath their bed or in a safe in your home. And then, those longer term investments that you have to wait till you're in your 60s or 70s. That's the difference in liquidity. You have to get a return on the investment, not to be confused with appreciation, because those two are not interlinked. Although you can, with a positive appreciation, you are getting a return. And then tax advantage, which when you're paying a mortgage, there is a tax advantage to it. And I'll show you what those numbers look like in a little bit. So you have 2 roommates paying $600, and you're going to hold it and sell it after 5 years when your kid graduates. That's just one scenario. So if they're paying $1,200 a month, that reduces your mortgage payment to $1,723 times 5 years. That's $103,000, $380. So now your rent expense is more than your rent income, but you have a positive flow. From the example above, remember, it was 176 was your expense to own. So now you have a positive cash flow of almost $53,000 by renting out 2 bedrooms, offsetting, negating that negative $20,000. And going back to that 50,720 that you would get if you weren't using renters, let's run those numbers. So if you sell it in 5 years, the total cost is going to be 36,455. With that positive cash flow, that means you're netting positive 16,534, or a total of 67,249. Not bad for a 5-year investment. And I had that arrow there because you're not going to be including that negative cash flow. You have a positive cash flow because you have renters. But what if you gave that rent to your financial planner and again said, hey, these are the caveats of a sound financial investment. I want you to take this 1,200 and put it in a vehicle that at least meets half of these. And I used with the $1,200, just an annual return of 4%. That's not a lot to ask of a financial planner. The good ones will get you a minimum of 6 to 8%, but I'm using some conservative numbers. So what that means is at the end of 5 years, that investment's going to have almost $80,000 in it. So that's even better than just renting and collecting the rent. Okay. And then there's the long-term strategy. If you wanted to hold it, maybe you're alumni in that college town and you want to keep it. And whatever the roommates are paying in the beginning, and then after your student graduates, you can keep renting, and you can add a third rent to it. But just to keep it simple and consistent, I just kept it at $1,200 a month. You would actually, if you took that money and would contribute it towards the principal, you'd actually have the house paid off in 12 years. I'm not going to dig into the numbers of this. You can just go read through the numbers. If you have questions, you can reach out to me. This is what it looks like. And you're paying more principal and less interest in this scenario. I put Football House because, again, State College alumni, it's one of the top 5 places that alumni buy homes, especially if they have a legacy, a son or daughter that's going to Penn State. And so this is what your would be contributing towards your principal. This breaks it out what the payment's going to be. So what have we done by investing in a home in a college town? Obviously, you have a place to stay. Again, whether you're alumni of that college town, a lot of parents I find want to go and visit their student in college, and not just football weekends. There's just various weekends you'll have a place to stay, and then when you're not staying there, just if they're not using the rental strategy, and it's just a primary residence for your student and for you to crash when you're visiting, you can use it to rent out on big weekends. I see that happening a lot. And then, as I mentioned, the short-term strategy. While investing, you sell it in 5 years, you walk away with $67,000 plus that $79,000 investment. That money can be used to pay off student loans, or you can give it to your dearly beloved kid to use as a down payment if they found that job and they're moving to a new city. Again, they're investing in real estate. That's generational wealth you're creating for them. And obviously, because you put the money up, you're getting paid back. And use it at your will. And then the long-term strategy, obviously, is using that passive income to pay it off in 12 years. And you can, as you're paying down, you're building equity too, which you can use to buy more investment properties if that were your goal. And there's so many other options in between, but I just wanted to get the wheels turning for those who have college students or are going to have college students soon. If you found value in this, obviously, I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and share this with anyone you think it might help, and always like and follow. That's it. Have a fantastic day.